Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. And today we are finally going to be talking about my mortal enemy, known as Peter Rabbit 2 The Runaway. You're probably wondering, Malik, why do you call this movie your mortal enemy? You want to know why? It's because I've had to talk about this movie so many times on this channel. It has driven me to utter madness. I'm serious. I have talked about this movie a stupid amount of times on this channel via the canceled series because this movie wouldn't stop changing its release date. It went from one date to another, to another, to another, to another, just ricocheting all over the calendar, and it drove me mad. I mean, you know what? Pause this video, go to the canceled playlist. There's 68 videos on that thing. A good 10% of that playlist is dedicated to Peter Rabbit 2. Like, just check all those thumbnails and check how many times you see this stupid rabbit on the thumbnail. That's how many times I've talked about it in depth. Hell, I think even the first canceled episode, I talked about it, and it wasn't even in the thumbnail. So, there's that too. Ugh. I've gotten myself so worked up, we haven't even got to the pros and cons yet. God. So yeah, that's why I consider this movie my mortal enemy. So yeah, as usual, pros, cons. Let's just go. Pros. Peter Rabbit 2. Obviously, it's a sequel to Peter Rabbit, which came out February of 2018. Now, when that first Peter Rabbit movie came out, a lot of people thought it was going to be trash, mainly because it had a similar vibe to other live action CGI hybrid family movies, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, Garfield, Smurfs, Yogi Bear. I can go on. They're all bad. And a lot of people thought this movie would, fall right in line with all of those. I mean, look at the like to dislike ratio on that very first Peter Rabbit trailer from like 2017. It's not good in the slightest. So people thought this movie was going to be trash. It came out, and it turns out it wasn't trash. Some people thought it was pretty okay, all things considered. It was way better than people thought it would be. Not only that, it was a major success. It made over 100 million domestically, made 347 million worldwide. Big money, really big money. So naturally, a sequel had to be made. And it was supposed to come out last April, but it didn't. I'll go over all that hoopla later. But yeah, first, bro, this is a sequel to a successful movie. So, yeah. So anyone who liked that first movie might go see this one, maybe. Because unlike, say, trying to think of examples, a Scooby Doo 2 or a Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, where the first movie was, well, Scooby Doo 2 and TMNT 2014, I don't think are that bad, but the public thinks they're bad movies, and because of that, their sequels suffered. That's not going to happen here necessarily because the first movie wasn't bad. So, yeah. I would consider that a pro. This is a sequel to a successful movie. A good, successful movie. So, yeah, that's pro number one. Pro number two, this movie, according to reviews, is also not terrible, which is shocking. Because, say, some of the movies I already mentioned, the Alvin and Chipmunks, Smurfs, Yogi Bear, they all, well, not Yogi Bear, Garfield. Yes, Alvin Chipmunks, Smurfs, Garfield, there we go. Those three got sequels. They were fucking horrible. Trash movies. And with the exception of Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Garfield and Smurf sequels did horrible in comparison to the predecessors, mainly because of the bad reputation the predecessors got. This doesn't have to deal with that because reviews for this are quite good too. So, yeah, that's another pro. This is a decent sequel. I know you don't see a whole lot of those nowadays, but when it happens, it's kind of special. So yeah, I would consider that a pro. Another pro, the family movie market, although it's starting to ramp up again, it's been pretty slow this entire year so far. I mean, we've only had Tom and Jerry, and Raya when it comes to like big family movies. I know there's Cruella. I I don't know if that qualifies as a family movie. I know it's from Disney, but I don't know. It's kind of a little too much for kids, if you ask me. At least from what I've heard. And then you got Spirit Untamed, which came out last week, and that didn't do too good. But yeah, the family movie market is kind of lackluster. So this movie can succeed, because the thing is, Spirit Untamed mainly appealed to young girls, and that's about it. This movie appeals to like almost like a boys and girls equally because all they want to see is the cute, funny rabbit voiced by James Corden. That's all they want to see. So yeah, this movie can be an easy draw for kids. So yeah, I would consider that a pro. The family movie market hasn't been flourishing. This might get some families to check it out, maybe. So yeah, that's a pro right there. Uh, what else can I say? Trying to think. Well, I mean, competition wise, I know there's Luca next week, but that's Disney Plus and Disney Plus only. It's not like Cruella where it's Disney Plus in theaters. Luca is Disney Plus only, so it's obviously not going to affect it directly. But the next family movie that's going to come out is Boss Baby 2, and that's not till early July. So it has like a whole month to itself, basically. A whole month to thrive, if it can. So yeah, I'll consider that a pro. Lack of direct competition for a long while. Okay, cons. Okay, this isn't really a con. It's just an annoyance I have with this movie, and that's all the release date changes. Okay, so oh, like I already talked about it in a previous canceled episode. I think it was part 66. Yeah, part 66, where I go over how ridiculous release the whole release date fiasco has been for Peter Rabbit 2. This movie was supposed to come out in February 2020. They got pushed to April, then August, then January, then June, then May, then July, then June. No, I missed one. Dang it, there's been so many. I'm losing track. Okay, it was February 2020, then April 2020, then August 2020, then January 2021, then June 2021, then May 2021, then July 2021, I think, and then June. It doesn't matter. The point is, it changes release date a lot, and it has bugged the hell out of me. So, and I bet it probably bugged some people too, because I bet if anyone was actually in the theaters, they probably saw the trailer for this ad nauseum so much. You're probably wondering if it will ever come out. But yeah, that's just one thing I just had to talk about all of the release date changes because they drove me insane. But anywho, cons. Cons. I mean, this movie doesn't feel like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. I mean, obviously, more people are into In the Heights and whatnot, and I don't know. This movie doesn't have much buzz. Granted, a lot of family movies I've covered did have a lot of buzz. Tom and Jerry's certainly didn't have a lot of buzz, and that did better than expected. So it might help this movie. I don't know, but eh, it just doesn't seem like a big event at all. So yeah, that I would consider that a con right there. It's a lack of event status. Uh, and no, obviously, second con, COVID and audience capacity restrictions and whatnot. It's gonna hurt this movie a bit. By how much I don't know, but it definitely will hurt it. So yeah, I would consider that a con. And then there's also the potential that some family movies might be waiting for something bigger down the line, potentially. Maybe like Space Jam 2, potentially. Some families would rather wait to see that than see this. That's possible. It's quite possible. So yeah, I would consider that another con. Is that family movie? Some families out there will probably just skip this and watch something bigger down the line. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Opening weekend. Well, the first movie opened with like 25 million, and that was in February. So with a June date, this has to do better. Well, not necessarily. I think it's gonna open between 15 to 20 million, because I forgot to mention a lot of these family sequels, they tend to dip quite a lot in their second entries. I mean, there's obviously some exceptions. Shrek 2, Toy Story 2, Frozen 2. What was Madagascar 2, I guess. Trying to think of others off the top of my head. Yeah, those are the ones that immediately come off the top of my head. Like those did great, but I mean, we've had Lego Movie 2s, we've had uh Smurfs 2, Garfield 2. Well, those are live action movies, but we're still talking about family movies. Yeah, family movies can go two ways. They can either go up or they can go down. And I think this is going to go down. So yeah, I think it's going to open between 15 to 20 million. Overall, it might hit its legs could be good. 50, 60 million if it's lucky, maybe 70 if it's really lucky. But I mean, I could be lowballing, but that's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, 70 million total potentially. 50 to 70, somewhere in that range is where I think this sequel is going to hit. Maybe. So yeah, that is it. That is it for this weekend. Next up on Wednesday, well actually Tuesday, I'm going to film it on Tuesday. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard comes out. And then after that, F9, and then that's the end of June. You know, obviously Luca was supposed to come out theatrically, but it didn't. It went the Disney Plus route. So what can we do? So yeah. Anywho, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage. Full of all previous uh, prediction videos I made this year. You know, Tom and Jerry, Ray and the Last Dragon, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, Demon Slayer, Quiet Place 2, Cruella, Conjuring 3. I've done all of them and many more. If you want to watch any of them or any of my past prediction videos I made from 2019 or 2020, go right ahead. It's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Nothing's been going on with the canceled series for quite a while, which makes me think it's kind of over, at least for the moment. But if you want to check out any of the Peter Rabbit videos I made, all the previous ones, where I gradually grow more and more irritated by the movie because of the movie, you can go watch those. I bet you'll find some enjoyment out of watching me go insane. And then there's box office recaps where I go over box office results for any particular month. The June recap will come out first thing in July, and then we go on from there. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.